Hey friends, okay, so I just did workout number 44. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I kind of shared some reel. I also shared reel on my regular Facebook page, but whatever. The moral of the story is I've been feeling really bad about my body. And I know some of you are going to listen and you're going to be like judgy and you're going to be like, why does she feel good about her body? Her body looks great. But you feel bad about your body too, because we all do. I hope you don't. I hope I'm not speaking for everyone, but I think a lot of the times we're super critical and we're really hard on ourselves and we don't highlight all the ways we're winning with our own personal journeys. And so it's really easy to mean girl yourself. It's really easy to beat yourself up. It's really easy to do a workout and be all like, ugh, why do I have to modify? And they make it look so easy. And we all do it, right? But I want you to check it before you wreck it today. And I want you to remind yourself that you are showing up and that there's so much victory that comes from that. And I don't know. I don't even know why I'm sharing this with you other than the fact that I get it. I feel it too. And it's a daily challenge sometimes to override your critical self-talk. And it's a choice. Everything in life is a choice. So I just did number 44 and I think I'm going to go ahead and do number 45 because it's freestyle flow, which is feels good. But first I decided to make my superfoods. And so I'm recommitting to logging my food because I know when I actually follow a plan, it works. It's not a diet. It's not deprivation. It's just making sure I'm fueling myself with the foods my body actually needs instead of just eating like an asshole. So that's my commitment today. And I'm showing all of you. I actually didn't even put sprinkles on my Shakeology. So I'm going to drink that. I wanted to talk a little bit about this book. So I've been reading this book and I've been sharing about it in one of our coach mentorship groups. I super freaking love it. And I highly recommend all of you read it. And this morning I was reading a statistic that I've read before, which is alarming and startling, that 58% of people who don't go on to college never read another book after high school. 58% of people who don't go on to college, which I didn't go to college. I went to community college for a hot minute and then I was like, this isn't for me. And I never went. They don't read another book. And if that's where you're at, if you're not reading a book or listening to sorry, my mom called. I want to challenge you to dig deep. And I want you to get some book that speaks to you. A book that's going to resonate with some area of your life you need to improve. So maybe it's your self-talk, maybe it's affirmations, maybe it is money management, maybe it's a relationship thing. I don't know. There's a gazillion different books. And the thing about personal development is it's super personal. So I can tell you all day long, I think you should read this book, but you know in your spirit, you know in your gut what book you need to level up your life. And so I don't want you to be one of those 58% of people, or even if you did go to college and you still haven't picked up a book, I want you to pick up a book. And I want you to do it because this is part of investing in your own journey. You can freaking drink the superfoods, you can work out, you can push play all day long, but if you're not changing what's happening in here and up here, you will never get a life transformation. And so if you keep stopping on your journey, and you're following the plan and you're doing all the things, but your life isn't evolving, you're not feeling satisfied, it's because you need to do the work on the personal development, you guys. Personal development is not just for coaches, it's for every single freaking one of you. In this group, there is a file tab, and I have listed a bunch of the personal development books I freaking love that have really spoken to me. And some of the first ones when I was just starting that I'm going to recommend to all of you, you can go to your freaking library. Don't use the whole money as an excuse. That's bullshit. Go to your library and get it on on CD. You can listen to it in your car or check it out on an audiobook. There's so many different ways that you can listen to personal development. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Energy Bus by John Gordon was tremendous. That was super helpful. I listened to it with my kids and we all learned a lot. I also really am a huge Joel Osteen lover. I don't like to look at his face with those teeth, but I really love Joel Osteen, and he helped me so much with my self-talk and with speaking things into existence, speaking life into my life instead of focusing on the bad. And especially on days like today, 9/11, there's going to be so much and sad and hard and awful and sorrow. And I'm not telling you to edit all that shit out of your life because it has a place. It's part of our nation's history, but I also want you to focus on the things that are good. Focus on the fact that there's so many people rallied. Focus on all the amazing stories that rose from the ashes. I want you to rise from the ashes. It's not just about your freaking abs or your butt or any of that. No. My mom is texting me all this stuff. It's about you focusing on what you can control, and it's about you focusing on becoming a better version of yourself. So today I was reading this, and he talked about that, how 58% of people that don't go on to college will not read another book, and that 7 out of 8 people who are reading books are reading for pleasure and for fun. And I love to read. I literally have like 7 books underneath my coffee table right now. But you can find something that's in between. You can find like the Life's Golden Ticket. That's it's a fun read, but it's also powerful and it's also personal development. So you know what you need. You know what area of your life you need to level up on. And I also want you to remember that like your journey is going to grow and evolve one day at a time. It's not going to be a massive overhaul, okay? That's not sustainable. It's not you having to change every area of your life. It's about you taking little tiny daily actions, like moving your body, like drinking your superfoods, like getting enough sleep, like practicing self-care, like meditating, like doing your freaking energy practice. Doing all those things compound into a huge thing. And it's the slight edge. You're either moving towards who you want to become or you're moving away from who you want to become. And so many of our population, those people are focused on the negative. They're watching hours of freaking TV. They're not doing anything to level up their journeys. And so look at your life today and like, what are your gaps? What are your gaps? What are the areas that you know you need to tighten up? You don't have to do them all, but like get really honest with yourself. And so I did that this morning after my gratitude practice. Like, what areas of my business are my gaps? Like, what am I not doing? What areas of my fitness journey are my gaps? What do I know I need to do, but I'm half-assing it, or I'm eating too many freaking corn tortillas, or having too much sugar, or whatever it is. Like, we all have those things. What is it on my financial journey? What is it on my personal journey? What is it on my self-care journey? Like, where are your gaps? Identify them so you know what you need to work on. You already know what you need to work on. It's already in your head. You're already spending all this time thinking about it and mean girling about it and putting it off, and I'm going to get to it. If you would just write that shit down and then take little tiny actions to move you closer to becoming a better version of yourself, it won't be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but you really need to like get clear on the stuff that's holding you back. And I did that today, and it was really empowering, and it was stuff that I was like, oh, this is manageable. I can do this. Then you take that gap and you're like, well, what? Okay, I don't feel comfortable with my financial situation. Well, I need to create a budget, and then I actually need to figure it out. So it's not huge things, it's these little tiny actions. Okay, so what most people call a problem is simply a gap. It's an open space between point A and point B. And if you keep an open mind, it's an open space you can bridge. You have to know what your gaps are. You have to know what areas of your life you need to tighten up. You have to know what your problem is so that you can freaking fix it and get better at navigating it, you guys, and be aware of it. So your gap can work against you or it can work for you. I highlighted all kinds of stuff. If you don't close the gap by moving your present circumstances constantly towards your goals and your dreams, how else will you resolve it? And you either let go of where you are and get to where you could be, or you hang on to where you are and give up where you could be. You're either going for your dreams or you're giving up your dreams, stretching for what you could be or settling for what you are. There is no in between. And so if you are like me and you keep saying, I'm going to be my healthiest, happiest version of myself, and yet you're doing the same behaviors that are getting in your way and keeping you stuck, it's time to get clear. It's time to get clear because there's no in between. You're either getting better or you're keeping yourself stuck. Personal responsibility, my friend. So successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And that often means living outside the limits of your comfort zone. But what's uncomfortable now will become comfortable later versus staying comfortable now and being complacent and eating the shit. And eventually that shit will catch up with you. So I just freaking love this book, The Slight Edge. I think it's super amazing. Couple notes I wrote down that I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to finish this. Mastery begins the moment you step onto your path. Failure begins the moment you step off of your path. So you deciding to commit to your program, you deciding to follow the nutrition guide, you making that decision and then taking the first step, you guys, that's the first step to mastery. And when you get off track, you have to autocorrect and get back on track. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. It won't be. Wanting is uncomfortable, but wanting is essential to winning. So like, what do you want in your life? What do you want? You need to figure out what you want. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to go through it. Those of you, I know there's a few of you who messaged me recently. You're like, yeah, I don't really know what's happening with my fitness journey. I'm not super committed to a program. I need to figure that shit out. Figure it out. Today is your day. Today is the perfect day to figure it out. What are you going to commit to? You guys, you're not donating a limb. Like, it's a fitness program and you have access to so many of them. So figure out which one will speak to your spirit, which one you're going to love, which one you're going to look forward to. And yeah, it might be hard and challenging and push you, but like, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Chances are good that when you step out onto the path of mastery, you're going to step out alone. But you know what? You're not alone because you're in this group and you're with like-minded people, and we're all in different seasons and stages and live in different parts of the country. But like, we're all committed, hopefully, to becoming a better version of ourselves. So remind yourself of that. There is no simple in between. It's your choice. You're either working towards who you want to become or you're just not. And I hope today that all of you show up. I hope today that, you know, if you have been mean girling yourself and you are in your own way, that you identify your gaps. You identify the things you need to work on. You write that shit down and then you break it down step by step. You don't have to do all of them in one day. You just do one thing at a time. I need to get more water. Okay, so fill up your freaking water jug and start tracking it and start being accountable and start sharing about it in here. I need to get more sleep. Okay, set an alarm on your phone that's like, shut it down. I have alarms on my phone for literally everything right now, and it's keeping me so on task with my journey, and that might seem stifling, but like, I will procrastinate. I will put it off. If I don't have an alarm that says drink your unicorn juice, it's going to be like 9 o'clock before I get around to it versus at 8:15 reminding me this is your purpose. This is part of your plan. You need to show up for yourself today, Sarah. Don't respond to all the other emails and messages and get caught up on freaking Instagram. Drink your damn unicorn juice. Write out your affirmations. Say what you need to get done today and then make your plan. And then my alarm goes off. It says, be a badass, workout. And so it's 8:30 and I freaking do. I do it. And if I don't follow the alarm, does that mean my whole day is off? No, but it just means that me having an alarm keeps me on track. And so if you need to do that, if you need to set up some alarms in your phone to remind you of your affirmations, that's totally cool. Totally cool. And I want to hear about it. So are you living your best life? Are you showing up and rocking things? Or are you making excuses and putting it off? I hope today you draw your line in the sand and you recommit to your journey, whatever that looks like. And if you're not following a workout program, you need to fix that. You need to fix that. You need to share what you're doing, get it outside of your head so that you have some accountability, because I've done that before where you're just trying things, this and that, and you can't really get momentum. So give yourself some grace that it doesn't need to be perfect, but you do need to commit and you need to figure out what your goal is and what your gap is, what your opportunity is, and then take some freaking daily action. Baby step by baby step by baby step. It all adds up.